It's time. Hey, what's up, guys? I am here with Chase Davis. Chase, how are you doing, sir?
Pretty good right now. I mean, definitely not my best. I definitely wanted to get that win in the finals, but, you know, Thor is a very tough opponent.
Absolutely. Here's what I want to say. We're at Ultimate Mat Warriors Dose over now, and you had a phenomenal day. I want you to walk us through this day because I have questions about your jiu-jitsu, but I want you to tell me your recollection because things went very fast.
Yeah. Man, I went out there in my first match, and I just felt on point, and I got rid of the nerves in that match. I was definitely a little bit more tense. Sure. But after that, man, I just came back here. I had a great calm feeling, which I don't really feel every time I compete. Really? And I knew, like I told my coach Bobby, I was like, man, today's gonna be the day. And it was close to being the day, but you know, not 100%.
Well, let's talk about that because while it wasn't necessarily the day, you definitely made some statements out there that I think are worth talking about. Let's go back to your second match. You had a very game capoeira-esque individual who moves very fast.
Yes.
And so that movement can be very, very confusing to work with, but you found a very good way of neutralizing. Would you describe how you neutralize?
Man, whenever I go out there, the main thing I try to do is focus on staying calm. If I wasn't calm out there and I let his movement, you know, bother me or affect me, and I tried to chase him everywhere, then he would have ended up winning the match. I tried to make him fight at my pace, and I let him try to do whatever moves it is that he was trying to do. Until he finally walked into my game, and I was just waiting until he moved in, and I was able to capitalize eventually. And you know, in one of the heel hook attempts, we rode off the mat, and I got a nice rug burn on my head.
Sure. You composed yourself very nicely on that. I do find it very interesting that as he was trying to move off of there, a lot of people when they move and they roll out of a heel hook, there is a little bit of give because sometimes there's you're trying to move fast. He moves extremely fast.
Yes, definitely.
So were you worried that you would lose it at any given point?
No, once I get control of the leg, a lot of times I feel like I can control it, especially from the position we were in. We ended up in that position, we got the honey hole, and then there was a little bit of confusion, I think, whenever we reset. Sure. Ended up escaping, but I managed to get him back into 50-50, pulling back into 50-50, and that's one of my favorite positions to attack from. So
looks like it.
Yeah, I was happy to get it to there and secure the finish. But he's a very tough opponent. He moved a lot. And
absolutely. Was that something that you were watching in his first match? Are you watching other people's matches, or how does that work for you?
I never YouTube my opponents or anything, but whenever the matches were going on back here, I was bored, and I got to watch them. You know, whenever I was waiting on deck for my first match, I saw some of the style he was doing, and I knew that I was going to be able to take advantage of that because he moved in and out, and I was just going to capitalize whenever he moved in.
Here's what I really like is that, you know, that movement's so good when you're standing up, but when you bring somebody down, they're in your world, you know what I mean? So I thought that was such a great thing is you could see once the timber was starting to happen that you had a great bite on his leg and you were able to kind of keep him sucked in. Yeah. And then it's just a game of, okay, is he going to be able to escape? Is he going to counter you on those things? And I thought you handled that very well. So kudos to you on that, sir.
It just came down to the timing. You know, I was finally, at first, you know, he was bouncing in and out and I couldn't quite get to the positions I wanted. But as the match went on, I was able to time the way that he was moving in and out. And that's when I was able to capitalize and secure the position.
Beautiful to watch. Now, talk about your third match because I have questions about this third match. Okay, I'm not sure you have answers, but I want to specifically talk about the fact that you got put in this triangle position. Most people would be done in a number of those scenarios, but you did something very interesting to me. You had a grip underneath your thigh, and most people, they're nervous about getting that grip kind of compromised, maybe by some sort of rubber guard or something like that. What was the essence of keeping that grip underneath on your thigh?
Naturally, I feel like I have pretty wide shoulders, and that helps me with triangles, but for some reason, whenever I am able to get to this inside grip on my thigh, I feel like I'm able to get a little bit wider, and it's a lot harder to get the finish because I can create a distance between my neck and my shoulder. And I also, one of the things that was kind of hard to see is I did have my left hand in. Yeah, it was in there just a little bit, and I think that's what saved me, honestly.
I agree because, again, this could come back. I feel like if you don't have that good grip, they can kind of rip that out, and it becomes harder to implement what you want to do for escaping. I tend to have people try and triangle choke me because I'm told I have a large head. So I'm told it's kind of like a golden goose, if you would. So when people were doing it and I saw you do that, I was like, noted. Thank you very much.
Man, one of my main training partners and my coach, Joe Bays, he's been on EBI multiple times. He's got a nasty triangle, and I've been in that position so many times. He loves to set up mounting triangles on me, I've luckily, if it wasn't for him and all the time that we spent in those positions, I definitely wouldn't have been able to maintain composure and get out of there. But man, props to, I think it's Isa. Man, he super tough. I gave up 1 inch and I was mounted.
Absolutely.
And
you worked out of it, and not only did you work out of it, you were able to reattack very quickly, which I think the crowd always appreciates. Hit a straight ankle, not a heel hook.
Yes.
In case you heard differently. We heard differently, right?
Yes, it was a reverse straight ankle walk from 50-50, and it just happened. It fell right into the pocket as soon as I escaped the triangle, which is something we also go over. after escaping those.
Reacting very quickly in those situations.
Because the leg is right there, it's right in the pocket.
All right, let's do this. You also had a great match. John and you put together a fantastic finale. I liked watching you guys interact backstage because I just like seeing you guys pay respect and due. And you told him what backstage, you said something to the effect of, I found out I had to face Thor right after that really tough match, and they're like, you're on deck again as soon as I walked back here. So I was like, man, and John, Thor is a super, super tough opponent. I've been watching him for a long time. It was really cool to go against him. I wanted to pull out the win. I haven't been submitted in regulation in a while, so this has definitely got me thinking about what I need to do to improve and get back in there. Let me tell you something about you that's so great. Good attitude. During the day, you were real light, you're goofy, you're fun, and it makes it very easy to get behind somebody like you, because when you're out there and you put together these really high-impact jiu-jitsu matches and you give us all something to root for, doesn't matter who you're facing, I think people tend to like you.
Well, so I really appreciate that, but I just want to go out there and put on a show, man. I don't take myself too seriously. I'm 20 years old. I love doing jiu-jitsu, but there's a lot more to life than jiu-jitsu, and I want to be likable and just have a good time, man. And if you can't have a good time while you're out there, that's why we started doing jiu-jitsu in the first place. It's fun, it's a great art, and although I wanted to pull out the win, it's total props to him. It was a great day.
It was a great match and a great day for you, and I got to tell you this, we're already excited for the next time we see you. What's coming up next for you, sir?
I actually have nothing scheduled.
Get out.
Until January. I'll be doing the Grappling Industries Absolute. But up until then, there's a few things I'm considering doing. I actually may dip my toes into the IBJJF waters.
Are you coming back here for Worlds?
I don't know yet. I have no plans as of yet. I thought about no-gi Pan Ams as well too, but no promises on anything. But right now, I'm just going to get to focus on helping my teammates train for EBI. Joe Bays is in the 155 and Bobby's in the 170 combat.
Well, I'm excited to see you come back and start competing and all of that. If we happen to see you at No-Gi Worlds, I think a lot of people would enjoy seeing that kind of jiu-jitsu in a very different setting, one might say.
Yeah, definitely, man. I just want to go out there and, I do a lot of ankle locks, but in the gym, I work on a lot of my chokes and a lot of my guard passing, and I want that to, to become more confident with that. And no better way to test that out than to do IBJJF.
You know what you sound like? You sound like one of those actors who gets to the point where it's like, what I really want to do is direct everybody. I'm so good at this one thing, but just know I'm super good at everything. I have to tell you this, man. Such good stuff. One of the things, like I said, just learning that inside from me, huge, and that's among the other things I got to see in fast pace. I'm going to slow down a lot of this that I saw from you today. Are you teaching privates? Are you teaching seminars? Because, you have a game customer right here, because I would love to see that sort of stuff, sir.
I'm totally open to do any seminars that anybody would want to have me in for, so hit me up. I'm in college full-time, and I'm, training all the time, but definitely I would love to be able to make some money doing jiu-jitsu.
Listen here, you broke jerks. Get at this man. Learn all of the fucking cool shit that he's doing, because he obviously can pull it off at a high caliber level. And my thanks to you for coming to interview with us. Can we shout out any sponsors before we get out of here, sir?
My sponsor, Hayabusa, the best on the market. I'm glad I got to rock their awesome gear and at least look good while I lost in the finals.
We're going to get over this one real quick, kid. I've seen a lot of people do a lot worse, but you put on a show, which was mission number 1. Mission number 2, you got stuff to work on, and I got to tell you, the rest of the stuff that you have been working on looks fantastic, dude.
Thanks,
so
sir.
I want to thank you very much, Chase Davis. Thank you so much for everything. Keep it locked here at FootballTapcast.com, you guys.